Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Sleeping Giants, where this is going to be a bit more of a chilled out one. Well, I hope so anyway, as long as the transfer window starts pretty well. No games for you, of course. It's pre-season now and we want to go through the end of season awards with you after an absolute superb season where we finished 6th in the Premier League. We've qualified for the Europa League by beating Manchester United on the last day of the season, and yeah, hopefully we can really invest in this squad. We don't know our budgets yet, so we don't know what we're dealing with. At the minute on the bottom right there you can see that is 181,000. That's from this season's budget, so we don't know what we're going to be, how much funds we'll have to buy new players. We don't need to make drastic changes, but we do need a few additions in my opinion to cope with the Europa League and pushing on in the Premier League. So I want to get qualified for Europe again. I want to go one step further and get into the Champions League next year, because of course our aim overall is to win the Premier League with Blackburn Rovers, so we'll be aiming for the top 6 at the very least again next year, but mainly the top 4 on our route to winning that Premier League title. So let's go across now to the end of season awards, and here the fans player of the season goes to Tosin Adarabioyo. He is one we're going to have to try and sign again because he's been superb once again for us. He was great last year in the Championship winning season, and he was once again great in this Premier League season as well. Bradley Dack was the runner-up on that vote with 24%, and Fabio Silva, the club's top scorer, in third with 20%. Goal of the season was Jeremy Bogar, and I can't remember this one actually. Let's have a little watch of this. I do remember a few good Bogar goals, but I don't know if I can't physically remember this one. Here's Bogar running forward. Oh, he just runs through the West Brom defence. Look at that pace, fantastic. This is when he was playing at his best for us earlier on in the season. He did shy off a little bit towards the end of the season, but he done his job. For me, most notably, his best performance for us was his debut against Liverpool, where we won that game comfortably. Young signing of the season was Fabio Silva, from, of course, £17.5 million from Porto. Turned out to be a great signing. And Tosin got young player of the season as well, so he has had an absolute fantastic season. There's confirmation. Fabio Silva with 19 goals, Tosin with 7.19 average rating. Bogar got the most assists with 8. Best pass completion was Jacob Davenport. That's surprising. He didn't play too much for us, but that's a good stat for him. Come up from the reserves, from the under-23s this year. So that's a good stat for him. Most yellow cards. We had a lot of cards this year. Lenihan with 16 of them. Travis got 2 red cards as well. The season review then. The match of the season was not surprisingly, was the opening day victory at Anfield. What a performance that was up there. And the moment to forget was the 6-2 defeat to Manchester City. I think what they're failing to say there was 5-0 down at half time, so it was a good second half. It was actually a really good game, an enjoyable game, even though we shipped 6 goals in that one. Of course, we were disappointed in the Carabao Cup, but that was real low priority. We unfortunately went out to Manchester City on penalties when we should have won it, shouldn't we, a couple of episodes ago, where we missed that penalty to win it. And of course, fantastically, we finished 6th in the Premier League. So let's have a look at the club vision and expectations now moving forward. The club culture is the same as ever. Develop players using the youth system, which we've done kind of. Play defensively solid football. That's favoured. Don't know about that one. Play high tempo pressing football is another one. Okay, do you want to be defensive or do you want to be attacking? Your choice. I prefer, actually, currently with Blackburn, we're right in the middle of that, to be honest. So I'd say we are working in progress towards both of them. Work within the wage budget as usual. At the end of next season, they want us to avoid relegation. I think we can do that. It's going to be a harder season this year, don't get me wrong. Second season syndrome may hit us, but I hope not. It's going to be harder with the Europa League. They want us to get to the first knockout round of the Europa League. So does that mean get through? Yes, that means get through the group stages. There isn't a knockout round beforehand. I think the UEFA Cup used to be like that. So get through the group stages of the Europa League, fine with me. We'd like to get to the knockout rounds and play bigger teams. Be interesting to see where we're seeded and what kind of group we get. Then after that, they want us to become an established Premier League team, and that's when my contract expires. Well, after that, hopefully I do get a new contract, and it would be nice to, by the end of that window there, to the season of 2024 and 25, that should be where we're looking to win the Premier League, hopefully. Again, very optimistic, I know. maybe around here probably is a better objective. 25 and 26 season. Hopefully, we can win the Premier League by then. Let's have the end of season team meeting. Let's tell the boys. I hope you're all going to go away and rest up, because I want us to be an established Premier League team next season. What are they going to say to that? Most of them like it. Some of the boys don't like it, and I'm just going to say that's how it is. That's what I want to be. Don't want to be looking at the relegation zone or anything like that. And we will go to America. That sounds like a nice place to go to, doesn't it? Sergio Aguero, in other news, is the Premier League top scorer. Won the Golden Boot with 22 goals in 33 appearances. Fabio Silva there in third. That's a great season for him. 17 goals and 3 assists in the Premier League. The board have set the initial budgets for this season, and we have a transfer budget of just under £50 million. That's £49.5 million, and a wage budget of £950,000. What is our current? Is it already updated? So we're currently spent. We're committed to spending £570,000 at the moment. So we've got a lot to work with in terms of wage budget, and it's not bad. That's a good pot of money for us, to be honest. We can bring in maybe we could bring in a couple of real decent players for that, but we do want to bolster the squad with a few players, so it might be a couple of loans as well. But I'm really happy with that. It's more than I thought it would be, but that should be enough to be able to bring in some quality players to cope with Europe and try and push us on in the Premier League towards the Champions League spots anyway, because that is where I'm aiming for. So let's have a little look over the squad depth here at the club to show you what kind of players what kind of areas we need to be looking at improving. Let's start at the top end of the pitch there. Strikers, I'm pretty happy with. Fabio Silva, of course, he finished third in the goal scoring charts in the Premier League. Armstrong's a good backup as well there, so I'm not really looking for another striker. If a good option comes available, then of course we'll explore that avenue, but it's not a priority at all. Happy with the left midfield role. I think Rothwell's a good backup to Bogart. Armstrong can obviously play out there as well. We've got Rankin, Costello, young Harry Chapman as well. Same on the right as well, really. If I was going to look at one of the wings, I'd look at the right wing. Bogart can play out there, but Armstrong's been doing a great job out there as well. Downing, it's probably time to move him on, if I'm honest. I'm happy to keep him in the squad, considering our huge wage budget, just as a bit of backup. But if someone comes in for him, then it's something we won't turn down. We'll have a look, and if it's the right deal for the club, then and the player, we'll probably go with it. Same with Gallagher as well, really. I mean, he's not happy at the club. He'll probably leave as well, I would have thought, this season. So maybe, thinking on it as I'm explaining it there, it might be an idea to look at the attacking right midfield role is somewhere we can definitely recruit some players for. Centre of midfield, Travis, Buckley and Holtby have been absolutely fantastic this year. However, I do think another addition there would be a sensible move, considering Travis likes to get himself sent off, doesn't he? And he had about a 5-game ban or something stupid at the end of the last season. So again, somewhere here we'll probably be looking to bring in a midfielder. If we scroll down there and have a look, goalkeepers, I'm absolutely happy with Jack Butland. I mean, hopefully I haven't really looked at the dev centre, so maybe there's a young upcoming keeper that can be in the mix there with them two goalkeepers at the club, because I don't really want to spend money on a goalkeeper just to be backup. We're happy with the left back's belt. Lukokoy is unhappy at the club, but I would like to keep him there as a backup. So we're probably not looking at a left back unless, again, the right player comes up and it's something we can explore. I will be looking to bring back Tosin, of course. We're quite light in that centre back role, in the centre back areas, so we will be looking for a centre back, and we have just made a centre back a transfer target, which we'll show you shortly. We've got 3 players currently that we're looking at across the squad to bring in. Right back as well is somewhere that I probably might be looking at as well. Niambe's there, of course, but we haven't really got an out-and-out right back as cover. It's Travis currently, then it's Tosin, then Rankin Costello. Rankin Costello is such a good player to have in the squad because he can literally play anywhere. So he's someone, obviously, we can always rely on to fill in if need be. But that's the squad depth. And yeah, while we're here, let's have a look at the dev centre. Who's coming through? Have we got any goalkeepers? Ones to watch. There's a striker there, progressing well. The progress looking good on him as well. Let's have a quick look at him. How old is he? Oh, he's 21. His potential ability is 4-star. He's someone we might loan out, I think it'll be good to loan him out. He's not going to play for us. So, yeah, let's definitely loan him out, I think. Loan status, available for loan. Yep, that'll do. Confirm that. And let's offer him to clubs for a loan. Not really too bothered, but let's try and get some wages back of 50%. That'll be nice, wouldn't it? Cut the bills a little bit. So he's someone we could look to loan out. Let's have a look in the under 18s. Are there any decent goalkeepers lurking around? And got excited there. I thought I was a goalkeeper. That David Henderson's a promising centre back though. He's someone we could really look at. He's got a good potential as well. He could probably do with a loan. Loan move as well. But goalkeeper wise, not looking great. So maybe. I mean, they're not going to really play too much, so yeah, I still don't think it's worth spending money on a goalkeeper just yet. So this is one player we have gone in for. This is Abare Eze from Queen's Park Rangers. Apologies if I am saying that completely inaccurately. He is an attacking midfielder. Let's have a look before we negotiate this. This is the scout report on him. And yep, he can play as an inverted winger out on the left there, so there's a bit of cover. We just said we don't want anyone out there, but he can also play on the right. I know he comes in 10th here, but he's also he can play. He's a bit of a versatile player, this young lad. I say young lad, he's 22 already, but he fits the bill. He's currently a championship level player, but it's good for a bit of squad depth there. I'll be happy to sign him. It looks like they turned down 10 million quid for him though. Whether I want to pay 10 million quid for this player, I am not sure. Although, what was our previous offer? Why did we go in for literally nothing? Oh, okay, it's an inquiry. What an idiot! I thought I'd made him a transfer target for our director of football to look at him. So I don't want to pay that kind of money for him. I know his value is that. I'm happy to pay 7.5, and maybe after, I don't know, 30 league games, we'll pay 2.5 million. That does make 10 million. So let's go 6 million. So I think 8.5 million is fair. And we'll go for that. And we'll try and bring Eze, because I think he'll be a good player and he could develop quite into a regular for us eventually. We do need a bit of depth in the midfield areas. We have our first signing of the summer, and it is a centre-back, Domenico Freya. And he comes in from Serie A. I'm not even going to try and pronounce this side's name. You can all read it. There you go. You've read it now. That should have been enough time. Because I just embarrassed myself when I tried to pronounce long names like that. So he is a decent centre-back. He's 25 years old. He's come in here on a 3-year deal. He's going to be a fringe player by the looks of it. I didn't negotiate this contract. It was the director of football. But he's only costing us 3.2 million. Let's have a look at him. Let's have a look at the scout report, rather. So you can see everything about him. And he would come in as 4th choice centre-back. He's 25, he adds a bit of depth, but of course he's technically 3rd choice there, because Nyambe will be a right-back. But Lenihan, when Tosin goes, he will be the 2nd best centre-back at the club. He is currently operating at a championship level, but he has got real good potential ability there, potentially 5 stars. So I think at £3.2 million, that's a real good deal for us, to be honest. Very happy with that indeed. In other news as well, we are looking at Eze, who we said about, but he didn't agree contract terms with us because apparently the wages we was offering was unacceptable. And I did again leave this to Mark Venus, and he didn't. Yeah, he obviously didn't give him enough wages, did he? But so we'll look at that again in a couple of weeks when he's willing to discuss contract details with us again, because he's definitely a player I do want to bring in. So I did wonder how long it would take for someone to come in for a few of our star players, and the first one is Ryan Nyambe. West Ham United have made an offer for him, and it is an initial £15.25 million, and with the add-ons it could go up to £21 million. So it's not a bad, bearing in mind he's valued at 13.5 million, it's not a bad offer. However, we don't want to accept that. We want to keep hold of our players, and yeah, we don't want to lose players like Ryan Nyambe anyway. And by the looks of it, he has no interest in joining West Ham anyway. They can't offer him European football like we can, and yeah, so we're happy just to simply click that reject offer button, and we'll have done with it. We have also You can see there the Freya signing is confirmed now. The window has opened officially. We have brought in Marco Russ as well. He's a youngster from Southampton. He's a midfielder. We was looking at a few of the young midfielders, some of the youth players that the clubs were getting rid of in the Premier League, and we have brought in Marco Russ. We have made offers for quite a few of them, so let's hope they all join, because a lot of them have real good potential abilities, including Manchester City goalkeeper. Can I go all the way back? It's Slicker. Here we go. We've made an offer for Kieran Slicker as well. If you look at that potential, he can potentially go up to a 5-star. So he will be a quality goalkeeper. He's only 18 years old. I'm surprised Manchester City haven't offered him a contract yet. So hopefully we can bring him in as well, because we said we don't want to spend money on a goalkeeper. If we can bring in a young keeper like that, that'd be phenomenal. And if he can learn under Jack Butland, what a great mentor as well. Look at this one. My dream job. Leicester City have offered me a job interview, and it's hard not to go to it when you're a Leicester City fan. But of course, the save rules implies that we cannot speak to any other clubs. We can't leave Blackburn. We've got to see the job through and win the Premier League. And the only way to leave is if we're sacked. But Leicester City finished 17th in the... What? That can't be right. They did finish 17th in the Premier League last year. Only stayed up by 6 points. I say only. It's quite a big gap, I suppose. But Leicester City shouldn't be down there, should they? They should be up where we are. And maybe that's why I've been offered an interview. Let's have a look at their squad, though, just to see if that would be... They've got some good players there. Look, Schmeichel's still there, obviously Ricardo. Of course, for only 2 years in, I suppose. And D.D. Tillemans is still there. Now, he was hard... When I was doing the Leicester save, he was a very hard man to keep hold of, Yuri Tillemans. So they've done well to keep him. I wonder if he's someone we could lure here. If Tottenham are looking at him, this could be interesting. I'm just going to make an inquiry on him. Maybe someone we could lure, because we can offer him... Europa League football, of course. Leicester are in a relegation battle. Vardy's on the bench. They've got Jesse Lingard there. Pryor Albrighton's obviously there. This is a guy we've been heavily linked to, is Hamza Chowdhury. But for 47 million, he's not worth that, in my opinion. I think Wolves have just bid that, haven't they? Yeah, 47.5 million. I don't want to spend that on Hamza Chowdhury, unfortunately. Kaglar Soyuncu, people win for him as well. So that would have been an interesting one to take on, to try and bring Leicester back into Europe. But of course, we have to say sorry and we're not interested, even though we are secretly, but we won't tell the Blackburn bought that one. And yeah, we'll move on and hope and progress with this transfer window now. Good news for us, David Henderson, who was the centre-back we was talking about earlier on, he has just signed a new deal with us because, and I say it's good news. One, he's got great potential. Two, a lot of Premier League clubs are after him, and he really was heavily linked with Everton and Southampton. Everton actually come in with a £2.4 million bid, and it could have rose to £7.5 million, and the club did accept that. I didn't want to. I know it's a lot of money for a guy that's just sitting in the youth team, but he looks very good. He looks exactly like the kind of player we'll need in a couple of seasons' time, and now he has signed a new deal with us. So fantastic news. He's here for another 3 years. And hopefully we can keep hold of him now. And really it just means we can get more money for him when someone comes in for him. So yeah, 4-star potential ability. He's looking a real player at the moment. He's only 1.5 star currently. So he could be used in the cup competitions maybe. A little bit of depth for us. And yeah, it's definitely a good signing for the club, keeping hold of him. But we are just about to sign Penaranda. I think I said that right. Penaranda. Something like that anyway. We have just, he's agreed terms with us. £2.4 million signing. And another good little coup for the club as well. We're going to accept that because we do need another midfielder. He can play up top as well. So, I mean, I don't know if the squad depth will update now with him in there. No, it hasn't updated yet, which is unfortunate. But yeah, he's a good signing for us. Another bit of backup behind Silva, possibly better than Armstrong when he comes in, but he can also play out on the left of midfield as well. So we've got a bit more backup there. So a good signing for us there. Only £2.4 million as well, and you can't really go wrong with that, can you? We're finding good little players for small amounts of money at the moment. And of course, we'll go through that with you. We'll do a big roundup of it at the end of this episode of what we've managed to achieve so far and bring in. And let's have a look here. Yeah, there's confirmation. Fans are unsure about it, apparently. Hopeful that his good form can continue when given the chance. Yeah, he was in a championship last year, Watford, and done very well for them. So hopefully we can improve him in the Premier League. And it looks like up here, Yuri Tielemans' bid has been rejected. Of course, we only put in an inquiry for him, but that's been rejected. Maybe we can try and lure him to the club, but I don't think so. I think we've still got 43 million left, so maybe we can. I don't think so, though. I remain hopeful we can, but I doubt we will. And another player for you guys to get excited about. This is Helder Costa from Leeds United. He is going to cost us £15.75 million, and which is quite a chunk of our transfer budget. I mean, it could rise to £19.25 million as well. But he's the right winger. We said we want to improve in that area. He's been fantastic for Leeds United. He's 27 years old, so we were meant to be signing younger players. But he's a player in his peak and a player that can really come in and do a job for us. If we have a look at his stats. All right, 6.88 at Leeds United last year after 36 games. Average 7 rating the year before. I mean, the scouts seem to really like him. And let's have a look at his overall scout report. On the right, he would be just behind Armstrong and Bogar in that position. But, I mean, when Armstrong wasn't there, we didn't really have anyone else other than Downing, and Downing's well down the list now. He's not even there. Costa can also play on the left if need be as well. Of course, we've got the Watford player coming in as well. But he's versatile. He can play up front, albeit, well, it says scouting required, but it's orange, so it means he's probably had a bit of experience up there. So I think that's a good signing. Potential to be 3.5 star. He's near his peak, but it's a bit more depth that we really desperately need this season. I am very happy with that signing, to be honest. And who's this? Butterworth signs a new deal. Young striker signed a new deal. Always a good thing, I suppose. So whilst whizzing through this transfer window and being busy in improving the squad, the fixtures have been released for the Premier League, and we kick off with an away game at West Ham United. And we've got 3 of the big clubs in the first 5 games. We've got Manchester United at home. Of course, we beat them at home on the last game of the season to qualify for the Europa League, and also Man United could have won the league that game and we prevented them from doing so. Brighton away as well, Liverpool at home, and Chelsea away, where of course we won 4-2 at Stamford Bridge last year. We won at Liverpool last year, but of course we're at home to them this time round. So we've been good we've got results against all 3 of them big teams last year. We beat them all. It's a tough start, but you've got to play them at some stage. If we can beat West Ham and Brighton, then the other 3 don't really matter too much. We can pick up what we can. Hopefully in the home games we'll pick up a point or 2 there. But it's a tough start. Final day of the season, we will be at Chelsea, so another big club. So hopefully there's nothing really to go to play for this time round as we play for Chelsea. But we're good at Ewood Park, so if there is, you never know, it could be a showdown for Blackburn v Chelsea for the last Champions League spot. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? At home as well. And the East Lancashire derby, of course, is mentioned there as obviously because it's a huge game for the club. We've got Burnley in September at home, and then we travel to Turf Moor towards the end of the season. It looks like it's the second to last game, the penultimate game of the season, where we do travel to Turf Moor. And it's a tricky start, but we'll take it. We're still improving the squad, and I think we're really going to, from the signings we've made so far, I think we're going to really push next year for European football again. This is what we have done so far, though, as we are approaching the end of June, so we're looking to do business early as ever. As you know, Frere's come in 3.9 million, Penranda for 2.6 million, and the big fee there, 19.25 million for Helder Costa. And just to show you what's going on really and how it is improving our squad so far, let's have a look at the squad depth. So you see the Watford man, Penranda. It's going to take me a while to get used to that one. He is currently fourth choice striker. I mean, Bogar is there, but so really we can push him up. He's technically really the 3rd best striker at the club. And also, he is meant to be a good left midfielder, but currently, apparently, he's not even in that top 5 there. Costa as well, you can see he's the 3rd best choice at right midfield, but Bogar won't be over there. So it is going to be a battle between Armstrong and Costa. And of course, they're at the same rating, so that'll be a good one there as well. And of course, we've got Downing still there. Downing has actually announced his retirement. This is going to be his last season at the club. So I'm going to be nice. We're not going to look to get rid of him. We're going to look to use him this year, but he's going to be a fringe player for us. We still need to look at maybe the central midfield mark. As we scroll down as well, of course, I want to do something with the defence now. I think that's the priority. We did bring in 2 goalkeepers so far. They're youngsters, so you didn't see them on that transfer history. That is Slicker, which you know about. Him actually coming in makes him the second best goalkeeper at the club, so he will no doubt be the reserve keeper as well. And Trafford as well, coming from Manchester United as well, so he'll go straight into the youth team pretty much, or the reserves. So yeah, it's now concentrating on that back 4, because of course Tosin is about to go back to Manchester City. Hopefully we can loan him back. Purchase number 4 is about to happen. Of course, Eze turned down our offer at the beginning of the transfer window, where I don't think we offered him enough wages, but this time round he has decided to sign for the club. So it's another midfielder coming in for £10 million this time, so we are going to accept this. As another good player coming in. It leaves us with £23 million to invest in the rest of the squad. We are after a right back. He is down here somewhere. What's his name again? It is Stadrens Sasha Bowie. He is a right back. He's currently not interested into entering contract negotiations, because once again our director of football didn't do a very good job of that one. So again, it's going to be waiting a couple of weeks again, and hopefully we can negotiate with the player again. He's only £2.7 million, so he'll be a good backup for Ryan Nyambe as well. So hopefully he can come in, and we do now need to have a look at, we're going to also select our training squad with youth prospects as well, and hopefully we'll give Silver some praise by the looks of it. Hopefully the youth boys will learn some valuable tips and tricks from the first team squad, and that'll help them reach their potential ability levels as well, and that can only bode well for us as a club. We have got some good players coming through, and it's also good that we've got people like Henderson, who is sticking around at the club, so hopefully the better youth players with the high potential will follow suit as well. As you can see there, we do have some players coming in. Bennett, Russ, Slicker, Turner, Trafford. You know about Slicker and Trafford. Them boys are youngsters all coming in. They've been released by other Premier League clubs, and it's only going to bolster our youth system basically. Eze's here. We're going to ask Lenihan, who's just signed a new deal. Villa come in for him, then he wanted to stay with us, so we offered him a new deal. We're going to ask Lenihan to welcome Eze. Villa are back in for Armstrong again. This is the second time now, but Armstrong has no interest in joining Villa, thankfully. But we don't want to sell him anyway. £27.5 million for him. He's still young, Adam Armstrong, and he scores goals, so we're going to reject it yet again. Apparently Lukokwe wants to stay at the club now, which is good news for us, and we're not going to bother unveiling Eze at all. So if we look at the finances, yep, I'm right, £23 million still to spend, and we have just over 100k to spend on the wages. So hopefully we can bring in Tosin back to the club on loan, and we still need that right back as well. So another signing wrapped up for us here, guys, and it's Calvin Phillips from Leeds United. It's our second player from Leeds United, which isn't pleasing the Blackburn fans apparently, because apparently there's a rivalry there. But he has joined for £18.5 million, a fee that's going to rise to £22.5 million by the looks of it. But it's only taken £18.5 million of our £27.5 million remaining budget. Good signing for us. Another addition to the midfield. We were also in for Romeo from Southampton as well, but I mean, we're probably not going to go after him. He's a free transfer, but now we've picked up Calvin Phillips. I'm pretty happy with that midfield, so we're going to accept this. He signs a 4-year deal for us. He's going to be a very important player for us. I can see him being in there a lot. We have let Jack Val go out on loan because of these signings, and because he's not going to get a lot of games, let him develop elsewhere. Calvin Phillips, very good signing. I'm very excited about him. Hopefully he can be a rock for us in that midfield. He's a creative spark, he's solid, and a tireless midfielder is exactly what we need. Someone that's just going to work, run his socks off up and down the pitch, and not be afraid to churn out performance efforts of 150% for us, because that's exactly what we need in this young squad. Right, guys, so pre-season is done with, and I think we've done pretty much the majority of our business in this transfer window. We're still looking for that right back, but that may or may not happen. We have players that can cover out there if need be, but we're still optimistic of finding the right guy. But we are now in game week, and the first game is away at West Ham, which will be in the next video. So let's wrap up. Let's show you first of all how we've been we'll show you the transfers so far, and let's have a look. So it looks a lot. Let's try and organise this a bit better so we can see what's what. Okay, it's not going to really help us, but the fees. Let's start with the most expensive. Obviously, no Calvin Phillips, midfielder from Leeds United. 22.5 million he cost us. Helder Costa has come in as well, a winger, right winger, just under 19.5 million pounds. So we've given Leeds a bit of money this month, haven't we? Nearly 40 million. Abere Eze has come in from QPR for 10 million pounds, another winger as well. Gives us a bit more depth there. Centre back Frere has come in from that Serie A side that I am really not going to try and pronounce. £3.9 million, adds a bit of cover and quality there, so really pleased with that signing. Not an awful lot of money either. We got Penaranda, we're going to go with that, I keep pronouncing that one wrong as well. £2.6 million from Watford, can play on the wing, can play up front, gives us a bit of cover up there, and hopefully he can feature quite a lot for us too. We've brought in a few youngsters as well. Trafford from Manchester City. I believe I said Manchester United earlier, so apologies for that. It must have been Trafford that confused me there. So he's a goalkeeper from Manchester City, along with Kieran Slicker, who's another goalkeeper from Manchester City. The idea of Slicker was to bring him in, well, both of them was to bring them in and put them in the development systems, but it turns out Slicker's the second best goalkeeper at the club, so he will be the reserve, but will be playing with the under-23s predominantly 90 minutes every week. Turner is in from Southampton as well. He is a midfielder, I believe. I'm sure he's a midfielder, and yeah, I'm right, centre midfielder. So is Marco Russ from Southampton. He's an attacking midfielder, so he's another youngster as well. Janil Bennett as well, he's coming from Tottenham, another youngster. And there you can see we have signed Tosin Adarabioyo again for his third year in a row. For the third year in a row, he's going to be on loan from Manchester City. So another huge signing. It's massive getting him back at the club. We've also brought in Lewis Gibson on loan, so another centre back. We did need to bring them boys in, didn't we? And if you have a look there, outgoings, we finally sold Sam Gallagher. He wanted to leave for a while. He has gone to Zhenbuk Hyundai Motors for a fee which could result to £9.5 million. We have also, which I don't know why it's saying it, are they still sticking around at the club? No, there was a free transfer. Who's gone out? Johnson's gone out, and so has Corey Evans. They've both left on free transfers. We finally got them off our books. They've been lingering around and taking far too much wages for my liking, for not doing anything for the club. So they have gone. As you can see, we've got quite a big squad now, haven't we? We didn't have that, so we need a big squad for the Europa League, and we certainly do have that now. Let's take you across then to the squad depth and show you how we've improved the squad. And here we are then. So as you can see at the top end, we haven't made any changes. But Benrahma, I'm thinking of the Brentford player. What's his name? I keep forgetting it. It is Penaranda, not Benrahma. Penaranda has come in, and he's fourth best striker at the club. Not really anywhere where I thought he would be on this left wing, but he's a bit of depth, so that's good. So the Stars have improved there, as you can see. Costa coming in over there gives us a bit of cover. Armstrong will be the best right midfielder. Bogar will be over on the left. So he's like for like, really. He's just as good as Armstrong, so that's good enough for me. Calvin Phillips there in the midfield. He's the best midfielder at the club. Travis, who's just signed a new deal with us, he's still around. Holtby, of course, had a good season with us, so we're quite strong in the midfield role. Eze as well, I forgot to mention, he is apparently the fourth best attacking midfielder, but he'll be ahead of the other two, really. He'll be the backup to Bradley Dack, I would imagine. And we know also that, Buckley can play really well there as well. Buckley's not even... He had a really good season for us. He's like sixth choice, Buckley. But it's weird because Rothwell won't be in there. Downing won't be playing a lot either. If we do go, though, we have improved defensively. We've brought in Lewis Gibson, who can play out on the out on the left, rather. He gives us a bit of cover in the midfield, in the central defence. He is behind Frere, but he's only on loan. Tosin's back in, so it will be Tosin and Lenihan by the looks of it, which I'm absolutely fine with. And then at least we've got two other solid centre-backs that can come in when need be. And Slicker was the second best goalkeeper at the club, but apparently, according to Mark Venus now, Leitweiler, I can't pronounce his name either, is still the second best, but they're level 1 stars anyway on ratings. So I think you can quite safely say that technically he's joint second best. So, but we'll look to feature him rather than Leitweiler because I'd rather try and get some games under his belt. and let him achieve his potential. If we look at the potential, we can look at that, I think. It's current ability. Let's look at all potential ability, and let's turn on the other squads as well. We've got real ability at the club. Look at that, 5 stars up top. Bogar with 4 stars, Eze with 4 stars. We've got real good potential at this football club if we can keep hold of our players. Look at that, all over. That is a phenomenal squad when they all hit full potential, and that's why I didn't want to let go of David Henderson, because look at him. He will be the best centre-back at the club, and that's ahead of Tosin as well. So that's why it was vital to keep him. Maybe we'll try and introduce him in the Carabao Cup this season as well, and maybe if we're not playing him as much, which I suspect we won't, he will go out on loan somewhere to get some first team football. But we've got real good potential. It's a fantastic young squad. I am absolutely delighted with it, and I can't wait to see maybe in a couple of seasons where we are with this squad. If we can keep everyone together, I am absolutely delighted with it. Let's head across then to the schedule as we went through the first fixtures earlier on, but we will obviously come back for the first 2 games of the season. That is away at West Ham United at the Olympic Stadium, or the London Stadium, however you want to say it. It's not a football ground either way, is it? Sorry, Hammers. And then we'll be at home to Manchester United. Of course, we played them in the last game of the season where we beat them to qualify for the Europa League, and then the Europa League starts not long after that, so I'm sure that'll probably be the other episode. But anyway, thanks again, guys, for joining us for this transfer special. I think it's been an absolute fantastic window so far. Of course, business is not concluded there. Players still may go out. We haven't lost anyone we didn't want to lose. We've kept this team together and we've made fantastic additions. I personally think it's a terrific transfer window. Leave a comment in the comment section below, guys, to let me know what you think as well. Yeah, delighted. Can't wait to get the season started. Thanks again for watching. If you did enjoy that, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and leave a like on the video. It really helps with the algorithms and helps people find me. Thanks very much for watching, and see you next time for the start of the season against West Ham and Manchester United.